Hey people, hope you had a wonderful Christmas celebration. I did. I had a very relaxing time with the family. It was awesome to have my husband around and the children and just forget about work for a day or two. I've been studying, so it's been a busy year with work, family, church, and all of that. But in all, we give God thanks. Now the year is coming to an end, and I just want to speak from my heart to you and yours. What we do in our family towards the end of the year is to reflect on the goodness of God, also on the bad and the ugly. What do I mean? The things that have happened during the course of the year that we did not like. The ones that we like, of course, the ones we celebrated, we reflect on it, we give thanks to God and also appreciate each other for the role that we have played. Because, sincerely speaking, in a marriage, no one person can do it on their own without the cooperation of the other person. So it's worth reflecting on this, the contribution of your spouse, and just thanking them, for those that got gifts and those that didn't. For those whose spouses suddenly developed amnesia. Mhm, before Christmas and totally forgot that it was 25th of December and did not get gifts. Either way, we just give thanks. The fact that we're still here, there's still many more opportunities to buy gifts. Okay, so let's not stay mad with each other. Let's understand that, well, they can still get it for you in January. Remind them you didn't get my Christmas gift. You can still buy it in January. Gift, not gift. Whether it comes on this or whether it comes in December or not, we still move. Thank you for the gift, even if it's a cup. Thank you, even if it's a lipstick. Thank you, even if it's a car. Come on now. Thank you, whichever one it is. I've taught myself one thing, to just be grateful, because gratitude plays a huge role in marriage and in the home. And that's one of the things I'll be talking about as well during the course of this video. But I want us to spend this time, the rest of this year, just reflecting on the marriage, on the family as a whole, on our parenting, on how we have done, how well we have done, or how well we've performed during the course of the year. Because you see, reflection will help you understand your strengths and your weaknesses. There are times that we don't address our weakness in marriage and it goes on to affect our marriage in the long run. You may think that you have escaped from it, or your spouse is dealing with it, they're handling it and all that, and they're not complaining anymore. You think it's fine. No, you must reflect on your strengths. You must also reflect on your weaknesses. Those areas of strengths you have done fantastically well. We celebrate you and we applaud you. But the ones that are not good, we also must talk about that. And the reason we're talking about it is not because we want to shame anybody, it's not because we want to harass anyone or nag anyone. We just want to bring it to your attention as a man or as a woman. The reason you're doing this is because you want to bring it to the attention of your spouse to say, hey, thank you, bro. Thank you, sis, for these things that you have done, these amazing ones. But you see, these ones, we can't go on like this. It's not helping us. In the long run, it's not going to do us good. We need to get rid of it now. All that malice, all that name calling, all that shaming, all that disappointment. You say one thing, you do the other. You don't keep to your words. You don't respect parents. You're rude to in-laws. Those bad behaviors. Some even keep malice with their children. I am shocked this few years of counseling. I call it few, it's over 10 years, but I still call it few somehow. you know I've discovered that some people, when they're upset, they even keep malice with their own children. Your child comes to greet you, daddy, in the morning, and because you're upset, you can go on for weeks not talking to your own child, living in the same house. You're laying a bad example for that child. That's not a way to resolve conflicts. First of all, you're not letting that child know what is wrong. So you see that smelly habit, I call it a smelly, stinking habit. You live in the same house, you're upset with your spouse, you don't speak to them. You live in the same house with your children, you're upset with them, you don't speak to them. Oh, why? Why? We need to get rid of it. That behavior must not enter 2025 with you. You know why? God has a great plan for your marriage. The reason the enemy is against marriage and is attacking home so much is because it's God's idea in the first place. So now that God has brought you together, you have been privileged to be called a husband, you have been privileged to be called a wife. You must take it extremely seriously. Understand that you are under attack. This is not to scare you. From the moment you say I do, you have entered an institution that was designed and ordained by God. So definitely the enemy will come after you. The battles that I've experienced as a married woman are nothing compared to what I experienced as a single person. Why? As a single person, you're under your parents. Your parents are covering you. But when you get married, you're starting a brand new generation. And guess what? The enemy will come for your seed. The enemy will come for your peace. Why? Because he knows that if he can get you to miss it, then your lineage will be done for. So now I want you to have a good understanding of why the enemy is after you. You must understand the reason the enemy is after your marriage. It's got nothing to do with your husband or your wife. Yes, they may be cooperating with the devil in one way or the other because of their bad behavior, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that every time any man or any woman under God decides to get married, you're setting yourself up for a brand new battle. So what must you do? You must cooperate with your spouse to fight the enemy. They are not your enemy. The devil is the real enemy. So he will try in one way or the other to hide under so many things. Offend, you'll find out for no reason. I remember I was sharing, let me share my own story because I like to be as real as possible. The first 3 years of our marriage, there were times I would just wake up in the morning, I'm angry. I'm just angry. I'm upset. My husband is asking me, what's the matter? What's that? I don't know. Just wake up angry. In comparison, my husband is very extroverted. I, on the other hand, can be either in or out. I can be called ambi. So one minute I'm extro, next minute I'm intro, depending on who I'm with. I'm able to switch because I want to really understand people and know. But my husband is all through extroverted. Now, those personalities have different strengths and weaknesses, you see. But for me, one of the weaknesses I had then, not anymore, because it's been, you know, it's been 17 years of marriage now. So I'm not who I was 17 years ago, is not who I am now. We've come a long way. I've learned how to express myself. But back then, I didn't know how to express myself. I'll just bottle things and bottle the pain and bottle the pain and bottle the pain until it feels as if I'm almost about to explode. And he would ask me, what's going on? I'll say, nothing is wrong. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. I'll serve the food as normal or just be, doing whatever I like, chilling around the house. I'll even watch TV with him sitting down there. It's like, what's wrong? Your face? What's wrong with your eyes? I'm like, nothing. Until one day I told myself that, girl, if you're going to do this journey for long, you got to watch out. You got to deal with this attitude. You can't continue like this. Imagine living with a man. They would even make love to you. You are angry. They would even come, are you okay? Are you okay? The man will just move you, and lift up your whatever you're wearing. Because you said you're okay, isn't it? So the man is just, he would even be kissing you all over, caressing you. You're there, putting your face. You're not even enjoying the moment. You know what I'm talking about. Marriage. But can you really blame him? You have not really found a way to express yourself. So he's like, you're fine. Girl, anything for me tonight. You too, before you know it, they touch you one way or the other. It's all done. And they finish with you, you're still angry. You're missing out. Your love making is zero. You're not even enjoying the moment. You're suffering. You're crying inside. But you're not letting out the pain. So I had to speak to myself that I could not continue like this. I needed to find a way to express myself properly, not wait until the pain is, it's like the bottle is filled to the top. And then, there were days that I would find myself almost, I'm shaking, um, the anger is like pent up heel emotion. It's up here. I just want to explode. I had to start dealing with those things, you see. So if you are in those shoes right now, where I was then, you're there now, you got to deal with it. That attitude will rob you of your joy. There are some things that we do that rob us of our joy, in marriage. Little things that you do, bad behavior you brought from your parents' house, you still don't want to change. Husband, you've been married for 10 years, you still don't know how to treat a woman right. You talk to your wife as if you're talking to a maid. but you want a good wife, you want a perfect wife, you want who will show up for you every time you need her. You're not going to get it because you have not dealt with that bad behavior. You have issues at home, you can't deal with it as a man. Last night I did something to my husband. We finished praying and I said I want fatherly blessing. It makes a woman happy. When the wife feels covered by you, if you're always exposing your wife, you don't pray for your wife. You do know when you pray for your wife, you're covering her. It's beautiful. Ladies can testify. Married ladies, you can testify. It's not that you can't pray, but there is something about your husband laying hands on you and praying for you. Oh my God. It's so when you're not even covering your wife, you're missing out on another level of emotional and vulnerability that you can enjoy with her. She wants to be vulnerable with you. You've been married for so long, you still don't know how to behave. You don't know how to touch a woman right. You don't know how to speak to your wife lovingly that she desires to hear your voice over the phone. In fact, when you call now, your wife doesn't want to speak to you. They don't know what you can say. They dare not put your call on loudspeaker. Hey, the whole world will be upside down because you're so rude. Your voice is like you're roaring. What is the problem? You see, those bad behaviors, they can't go into 2025 with you because marriage and family is God's gift to us. And if we've decided to be married, then we must decide also to do the work involved. And that includes killing all these bad habits. A married person, you're still lying. A married person, you're still cheating. Peradventure, you don't even know this is a Christian channel and we're bound by the Christian faith. Married man, Christian married man, still having affairs. And you don't see anything wrong. Oh, it's just my friend at work. Only you. All the friends you have, they're only females. You don't have good male friends, sensible male friends that you can talk to, people who can bring order, men that command respect. You look like the company you keep. You can't be a married man. All your friends are females. It's only girls that you talk to. You'll be sending love emoji midnight when you should be sleeping with your wife. You'll be there sneaking off at night because you want to speak to a woman. Bro, drop that thing. It doesn't fit you anymore. We're going into the new year. Some things must change. We need to do better than what we're doing. 90% of the counseling sessions I've done this year alone is I've seen a lot of traces where people don't even understand what marriage is. People don't understand. I'm cheating respectfully. Is there anything called respectful cheating? I'm cheating respectfully. I said it. I only said it because I was angry. Even when you're angry, you don't speak like a fool. When you're angry, you still think about it. Just like when you're angry at work, you don't call people names at work. In fact, if some of us were to see our spouses when they are angry at work, you won't believe that. Is this the same man or woman I live with? So she can be this gentle. He can be this gentle. You can't believe it. But when you are angry with your spouse, there's no name in the book you won't call them just to prove that you're angry. And then you say, I'm a Christian. After all, we all do it. No, we don't all do it. Not everyone is a fool. Guard your mouth. Foolish people are the ones that talk anyhow, especially when you're talking to your spouse. No respect, no regard, both male and female. Respect your spouse because when you respect your spouse, you're communicating respect also to your children. You're telling your children this is how to treat a person, this is how to be a man of dignity, a woman of dignity. So it's not even all about you. Let's stop creating traumatic or traumatized generations, if I'll put it that way. Traumatized men and women who are already traumatized. They leave our houses or our homes, they leave your home traumatized, and then they go on and replicate that in lives of others. It all starts from home. Train yourself and then train your children too. Many things we must drop this year so that we can have a better 2025. Because I realize that times also we're praying to God, oh God, help us, God, bless us, God. But is your home ready to receive the blessings of God based on how you're behaving? Can God really trust you that you will look after your family if He blesses you? Some blessings will not come to you because God knows that even the little He has given you, you don't use it for the well being of your family. You don't use it to better the lives of your family members. All you do is you want to keep it to yourself. Nobody's idea matters. It's just you. And constantly living on the edge, constantly, no, plan your resources, sit together, One of the things you must drop also this year is a lack of communication. Drop it. It's a killer bug in families. Communicate with your spouse. Husband, sit with your wife. Drop that attitude of one man army. It's not going to help you. The reason you're two, the Bible says that the two of you will have a reward for your labor. For your labor, you will have a reward for your labor, which means the both of you are laboring. Each person's contribution matters. So you must be able to sit together and talk and plan and stick to the plan. Whatever you have agreed with your spouse is nobody's business. It's your agreement. It's your agreement. Agreement that must work for the both of you. Nobody must feel cheated. Nobody must feel like their own contribution doesn't matter. You must be able to talk. So if you've been running this one man army, whether as a woman or a man in marriage, you have to drop it this year. Don't let it go into 2025 with you. Mature. You see, maturity also means that you must be able to understand, you must be ready to receive a no from your spouse and say, no, dear, it can't work like this. We can't do it like this. So why not let's try this place? That's maturity. You being able to listen. What is my spouse really saying? It's not about position here, it's about responsibility. And responsibility in your marriage is what will command order. So when you both of you you've recognized your responsibility in marriage, not necessarily your position, your responsibility, you've recognized it and you are doing it, it will bring order in your home. In the black community in the UK where I live now, we have a lot of disorderliness. Why is that? Many people don't know their responsibilities, and so there's no order. I must know my responsibility as a wife. My husband must know his responsibilities, and together we make a team that brings order to our marriage and to our home, and by extension to the children. And so sometimes you see our children in black community, just being all over the place. They don't even know their right from their left. Some of them are unhappy, some are unfulfilled, some feel insecure. Why? Dad and mom are complete opposites. You don't know what your responsibility is. You don't know what you want to achieve as a family. You don't know what your goals are. Before the 31st of December, sit together. What are our goals? Let's talk about the things that have happened before and talk about how we don't want a repeat of it in 2025. Because, listen, the person who recognizes they're wrong is not a failure. The one who refuses to recognize is the real failure. Who refuses to recognize his failure is the real failure himself. He himself or she herself is failure. You must recognize your own failures. What are the things I've done wrong? Let's correct it and then we can move forward. Yes, the cards are torn apart. The bricks have been broken. Can we bring it together? Can we glue it with understanding and with wisdom? The ability to receive, to talk and let others talk. It's funny. Some people call for a meeting. Only that one person that calls for the meeting is talking. The other person's opinion does not matter. No, you can't run marriage like that. Both voices have to be heard. Listen to your spouse. Don't complain, oh, my spouse is always nagging. Is it that they're nagging or that you're not listening and you have not changed? Let's talk about it. Is it that they are nagging or that they are talking and you're not listening? Therefore, you have not changed. And then you hear that voice over and again, and you complain that they are nagging. So your spouse is saying something. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to what they have to say. Don't complain, oh, she's always nagging, he's always nagging. But you're not listening. You're not changing. You're not developing. Everybody knows how they want to be treated. My husband and I have share a common love language, which is quality time, which is perfect because we share that. But the second one to me, affection, you can't take that from me. And I think by extension, most women, affection, we're big on it. Affection, kindness, thoughtfulness without being told. We're big on it. So for you to try to confuse me and say, no, you're showing me affection when I'm telling you you're not, it's not doing justice to me. So whatever your spouse is complaining about, you're not doing this enough. You're not emotionally, available. You're not kind. You're not thoughtful. You're not caring. Sit down, listen to what they have to say, and read. Many people don't read. There are many resources out there on the net. We've got books. Invest in yourself. Please read. Never get to a point in your marriage where you feel you know it all. No. Yeah. So as I was saying, nobody knows it all. Drop those bad habits that have not been helping you. Repent if you need to. Apologize if you need to. Don't carry the pain of 2024, the beginning of January 2024. This is December. You're going to take into 2025 and you're asking God to bless it. And God is even asking you, what do I want to bless? Your irresponsibility. Which one do I want to bless? Your lack of or teachable spirit, a heart that is stony towards your spouse. You don't listen, you don't care. Your heart is, you've created a wall, or you have been the one instigating it. You've created a wall in your home by virtue of how you live. God really wants to bless us. He wants to bless our homes, but many things must go. So what are those things you need to let go of in 2024 before we hit the 1st of January 2025? Reflect, and then one step after the other, trusting God all the way. Begin to change. Make up your mind to be a good spouse. The one that there are some spouses, they command respect. That's who you should be that's who you should aspire to be. That's who you should aspire to be. A spouse that commands respect. You don't even need to demand for it. You command respect by how you live, by how you speak. Live your life in such a way that your spouse can vouch for you and they can be proud of you anytime, any day. It's a blessing on you. Whether as a man or woman, your spouse can think about you, vouch for you, and be proud of you and pray from their heart for you. It's a blessing. Be a good person. Just be kind. Be thoughtful. Be a blessing. And create generational blessing from how you live your life. I wish you a happy new year in advance. I want to thank everyone that has been part of the program, the Couples Club, watching our videos, commenting on them, liking, sharing. I appreciate every one of you. Most importantly, I want you to listen and also learn, because there's no point. This is not for popularity or for fame or anything. This is just our own way of blessing people, reaching out by extension. The Couples Club, addressing love matters, addressing family, addressing home matters. And of course, if you need counseling, reach out to us at thecouplesklub@gmail.com. By the grace of God, I'm a certified relationship and family coach, so I can talk to you about marriage. I counsel at least twice a week, every single week. It's getting busy, but we've stuck to twice a week for now due to other, commitments. But of course, we want to hear your voice. We want to help you whichever way we can. Okay, so please do not die in silence. Somebody wants to hear you. I can't wait to receive your emails. And by extension, I want to bless you and I want to really help you. So please, if you have any questions, you need counseling, which you also must be ready to pay the price for. You must be ready to do the work. You must be ready in building that relationship. Together, we can build better homes. And I pray that 2025 will be your year of many pleasant surprises in Jesus' name. Have a wonderful new year and enjoy the rest of 2024. I'm sending you love and greetings. God bless you now. Bye bye.